Hello, everybody, and welcome to our 35th vvvv meetup. Very excited to be here in Berlin for a change, surrounded by a few very lovely, well-known patchers filling the room, and we're hoping we will get fuller as we go along. We have a lovely setup for you today. If you feel like joining us directly on Zoom and you're not there already, the links are available at vvvv.org, and I just also posted it on the YouTube chat. You might get a bit of a better image quality and sound quality as well, and you can interact with questions if you feel like it, so you're welcome to join us. Today, I would like to start the meetup with a little note about Link. We were just all together, well, not all together, but a good amount of us were having a lovely time in Kolberg at the service of the Funk Institute. It was an amazing time. I really enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. It was hot, but there was plenty of swimming and drinks and laying around, surviving the heat. Also a good amount of games and even a little bit of patching. We got to see sneak peeks of the boy grouping and public channel features by the devs, which was very exciting. We had lasers. We had music by Toby K. So all sorts of beautiful things. I can highly recommend it. If there's a next one, you should absolutely join. And yeah, it was a blast. So thank you to everybody who was involved. Rosi was part of the organization right there. So thank you very much, Rosi. And yeah, hope to see you on the next one. There's, no, I think that's it from that end. So without much more to do, we shift to our first presenter, Rosi, coming all the way from Spain on this occasion. Welcome to the meetup, Rosi. What do you have for us today?
Hello, I'm Rosi, or Remoni on the forum. I have the honor that my work is featured on the image of this meetup. So you might have seen the picture already that I'm going to show you. And as we are at the vvvv meetup, I want to show you a bit more of how it was realized, like a bit of showing you the patch, showing you where to find the patch if you're interested in downloading it and working with it by yourself. And also how this project came together with the big sponsor, the city of Frankfurt, who paid me to realize it. Yes. Okay, so first I share my screen so you see what I'm talking about. Oh, there we go. Come back here. So you might see a landscape, like a cityscape, hopefully. I don't hear you, Randall, it's like muted. I don't know if that's on purpose, but yeah, I can see you guys in the notice.
It's working.
Cool. So let's get into it. What you see here is the cityscape of Frankfurt, and it's the whole city. If you scroll in, like it's loading tiles, it's becoming an SDF, and then in Fuse, I created this particle simulation on top of it. And what we want to talk about with this particle visualization is heat data in the city. So what you can see here is an old map from, like, it was my first test map that I got, which was how hot will it become in the city in different places. Like this is the River Main. This is like a park around the old city. And then, of course, you have like the skyscrapers and the city center, and you have other interesting like places around the city. For example, the Frankfurt Airport, or let's check, or the train station area. And it's about heat development. So, and also if you look at all these little blue particles coming up, that's cold places in the city. It's like, this is where you have a fountain or a shopping center or any place you can go if it's getting too hot. So the idea was to show that and start engaging people into this data that is provided by the city of Frankfurt. To talk a bit more about that it was, of course, it was a lot of fun, and just I love making particle visualizations, and so it was awesome just creating this thing. And the scope in which we created it was bringing different parts of the city bureaucracy, like the city departments, together to talk about the heat data, because it's a very important topic right now, like heat adaptation for cities. And they wanted to have like a hook to talk about all the different stuff they do about heat, and especially for older people, or in general, to like where to go or which places to cool down. So there were actually like three different parts of the city involved. Like one was about like the climate part of the city, and they have want to know from the citizens which places that are now parking lots and concrete places people would use if they would become parks, and also like what would be useful to have as a park also from city heating up. So they wanted to get feedback from people in the city, and thought it would be a cool idea to have some explorative map to scroll through, show each other everyone's neighborhood, see how hot it gets in this neighborhood, and then like talk about what people would need in the city. Then another part of the city department, they were about Stadtvermessung, which is a German word. It's like measuring the whole city and like construction sites, and also providing the 3D model of the city. That's where I got the data from to create the 3D basis of the whole thing. And also they are working on making a more accurate model for felt temperature. So also like where are shadows and how is the wind going through the buildings and so on. And the third department is the health department. And they did this big survey about what cool places, like cool in sense of cold, we already have. Like, do we have, as I already mentioned, fountains, museums, shopping centers. And the idea was to bring these three together, talk about heat data, and showcase it in a public spot in Frankfurt, where people could talk about it, explore it, see which open data there is already from the city. And also all these departments from the city were invited to talk about the data. So to go further with, that's already there, cool, what can we learn from this? And with this artistic interpretation of the data, I was quite free to like tell a story with what they want to do. Like putting the wind into a particle system is super easy, for example. Or if we want to talk about if it's the house is well insulated, like if there is a much heat or cold coming out of it, that would be also very easy to implement. So it was like a bit of live patching while they were talking to see where this could go next. And now I want to show you the place where all of this happened. I like the place that made it possible. Okay. I want to make that full screen, of course. Yeah. So it's called Display, and it's also from the Notverein. And Display is a place for digital practice in Frankfurt. And it's like the permanent place of the Notverein in Frankfurt right now. And they are funded also by the city of Frankfurt. And that's why it's becoming like a node for talking to each other, like to have workshops and exhibitions on digital practice. And also have a place where people can come for co-working, and I will share the link to it also later. And they approached me together with Fabian Hacketal from the city, and then we agreed that this would be a cool thing to get to know first that Display exists now since February, and that there is a lot of open data in the city that can be used. And people are encouraged to engage with this data and do their own projects, or like have a place where they can talk to people from the city government on, for example, this idea of where to, which places would be nice to have parks instead of parking lots and so on. So that was the whole patching was like for 3 months. And I used a lot of QGIS, if you might have heard of it. It's also a community-based mapping tool. So I tried to get all my data from QGIS and render it for vvvv, and I see more people are coming. Hello. And so here we got some nice screenshots. This is like the terrain again, I'm saying the word terrain, and I'm not French, so this sounds like an elephant, I know. So the terrain of Frankfurt, the first time I had, they were already very happy that I had this map here because it means, cool, a data set from the health department from the city of Frankfurt and from the climate department is now shown in the same map. Nice. This is like, we're getting more interactive and talking to each other here and can come up with new ideas thanks to that. And then we had the presentation in June, which was the Heat Awareness Day in the city of Frankfurt, and display was open to the public. We had like the particle simulation on a big screen with a controller, so it was like gamification of like you go through the city and find if you like go home to your apartment or go to the airport, the Frankfurt airport or wherever. It was like flying through a 3D scene. And then we had also just paper maps where people could like, just as you know, these big detective dashboards of getting more information about how you feel in the city, how it will be when it's getting too hot, where are you going to spend your time, what, and so on. Places they want to have changed. Yeah. So that was the whole thing. And of course, all of this project could not have happened if it wasn't for moving places with 3E8 2 years ago, because that's where we made the basis for this city visualization stuff. So like how to load a whole cityscape into vvvv, into like one patch, and how to like learn from video games to make it real time and nice and interactive. And I recycled a lot of this. And also on the go, because 3E8 did a project with the Architecture Museum, I think, yeah, in Munich. There was also one part that was further developed, in this case by README. Hi, if you're there. And it was super nice, typical vvvv community thing. I say, hey, you developed it further. Can we have a conversation? And you show me how you developed it. And then I can go to Frankfurt and then like do the next thing for Frankfurt. And so, yeah, README was helping me a lot. I contributed to this project. And yeah, this is how I programmed it. And how much time do I still have? Should I already be finished? Yeah, kind of. So I quickly show you basically the theory.
We still have like 5 minutes.
Okay. This is my like documentation of how it's done. I mean, most importantly, it's you don't try to put a whole 3D model or mesh into your into vvvv. You try to use it as an SDF, so everything can happen on the GPU. And so there were some trials for that, and also how I made a video on how in QGIS you would have like a 3D model, and because that's what I was provided with, like a 3D model of the city of Frankfurt, and from there you would then make polygons in the color of the height they have, like the highest building being white and the smallest buildings are basically black, and that would be the collider for the particles. So there is no 3D map involved. It's more like if you remarch it, you would have an SDF in the shape, like a function in the shape of the city of Frankfurt, made from these brightness values on the texture. So yeah, thanks again also to back 2 years ago, 3E8 and Brian Mischling, when he was still called Mischling, who helped me a lot. What's his name now? Brian?
Just Gegenlicht.
Gegenlicht? Yeah.
Gegenlicht.
Learning how to use textures for views, I learned from Gegenlicht, exactly. Yeah, and then also one big thing is you have your camera position somewhere and you don't want to load the whole cityscape, so you want to go somewhere and just have the tiles of this very place and that should become the SDF to render the particles on. So these were like the two technical things behind that. There is super good documentation also. For example, there's this patch where you can learn how to use a black and white or terrain map as a SDF and then make a collision on it. So that's basically how it was done. And yeah, that's it. It was a lot of fun to play with the map and go through it. I mean, patching wise, it has a big bang, and the rest, I think you guys know. So yeah, it's just a lot of few stuff. 2 particle systems, one for the big, for the like floor covering, and one for the like dispatched one for the 200 little blue cold places. Then of course I'm showing the stuff that I patched in the very last minute, so that's the most untidy one. There's different background maps that you could switch. You could show the ray march if you were interested, but it just doesn't look that nice. But yeah, that would be the city as a SDF, like that part of the city that we are seeing. And okay, I think that's that. I stop here. I could of course talk about the patch for longer, but yeah.
Perfect timing.
That's it.
1 minute off, so
Nice.
perfect
That's time for
presentation.
questions, huh?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for showing us this amazing project. A round of applause to you. It looks like you had a lot of fun also, which is very inspiring. No, it's not
yes.
every project that people have fun with, and you clearly did. So that's a good thing to see.
Yeah, it was a bit ambivalent because when I was patching it in the beginning, it was so damn hot in Linz, and I was like patching heat data, and my first visualization was like making all the buildings burn and listening to metal at the same time. So it was good that I was like, I should have an artistic view on the data and not like a scientific one.
Cool. Well, I do have a couple of questions for you, and then we can see if there's more questions from the audience. The first one is, how was it? Because you mentioned there were quite a few teams from the health people, from the infrastructure people. I don't know. What was it like to interact with so many people from diverse backgrounds as a patcher? What was that like?
Well, I had this, Fabian Hacketal's position in the city is like, he's in the smart city department, and digitalization department, and he really like is in the same spirit of getting people to talk to each other and see what's already there and what might be missing. So he set up all the talks with the different departments, and then I was just trying to make them like super motivated about the project and wanting to share the data, which they wanted to, because everyone wanted to show this, all the data they are sitting on. And also that we agreed on making everything open source, which is like in the spirit of the city data, this smart city department. So they were all on board with that. So that part I really liked about working with like a city department. You can imagine that bureaucracy in a like city of this scale can take a while, but I think that's the same for all cities. I don't know. Maybe I will make an artwork just about that.
Oh, wow. Looking forward to that. And then my other question was, how amazed were they? Because you said you were live patching. It was so easy for you. You have such a well set up system that you could more or less, as they were talking about the data, you could mock up things in real time. How blown away were they by seeing you do this in real time?
I mean, the easiest trick you can do is just including wind in your particle system and then maybe use it to open weather, like, and then it's like, oh my God. Like, I could use like some magic tricks, like little magic tricks. And also with when we were talking about the insulation, I was just using the edge filter in the textures to have the edge of the buildings and then make them like for a mock-up randomly thick or small, like. So that was also like a little magic trick that you can quickly present. And but all for like what could be possible if we had the data, and then we could make it like really like working together again scientifically, and I can have more the fun of finding ways to express it with particle systems.
Amazing. All right, let me switch it over to the audience. Do we have any questions for Rosi here in Berlin? No.
I was wondering about the heat data. Was it just from one point in time, or was the heat data, or did you had like a night and day cycle or a month cycle or something like this? Or
Yes, that's possible, but not implemented yet. but that would be like one next step, because they are very proud of this new data set that they bought for the city of Frankfurt by, I think, a company called Blue, that shows every hour the new felt temperature up to 4 meters of, how do you say, Genauigkeit. Yeah. So they wanted someone to bring this data set into a project to show that this is possible now, that everybody can look into like their own street and see how hot it will be and how hot it's felt, because there's this PET, it's called, like it's a model of how hot it feels on the body, like considering the humidity, sweat, shadows from buildings, and they have it now online already, that every hour you would have a new up-to-date one, and also showing you the highest temperature of the last days and the coldest one in summer. I can share the link, I think, because this is also super interesting to explore. And for now, I was just like looking for a very hot day and then tiling it. But the next idea would be, so if anybody, this is like, would be like a collaboration thing. If you, this in the browser, it would create this map from JavaScript where it has all the points to make like this heat map. And I want to reconstruct it in vvvv directly, so I don't need to do the tiling. So if anybody hears a calling here, please reach out to me, because it looks like we are going to work further on this.
Very interesting. Okay. Do we have any questions from Rosi, maybe from the Vienna sister city venue?
I still have a question.
We have a question, yes.
Hi, Rosi. Good to see you.
Hi.
Hi, and Randall. I missed the beginning. Like, who did commission you? The city of Frankfurt?
Yeah.
Wow,
I was-
awesome.
I got they had to manage bureaucratically to send an artist a gaming computer to Linz, which was a nice process. Yeah. And then I had to bring it back so they can exhibit it. I don't know if it's, by the way, for my shame or for my glory, that this was the first project I ever bought a license. Myself, I was involved in projects where other people bought licenses. But I want a dongle of pride or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Any more questions here?
Do we have the documentation somewhere online?
Documentation is online, GitHub is online. The agreement is that as it's my artistic work, and it should be open source, and we are all endorsing like this thought, download it and play with it.
Did you post it in the what's
Not
happening?
yet. Now I
Send
will
us a link and we'll spread the word.
four links I will post now.
Super.
Lovely, amazing. Any questions from the people joining us on Zoom? On YouTube, you got some claps, and maybe from Vienna or anyone else on the call? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Is this, because I know you were just giving a particle course at the Node Institute, yes?
It was part of the beginner course, yes. It was the last session of the beginner course, but there will be an intermediate course in November, if I'm right, that will be exactly about this topic, like about
Okay.
data visualization with particle systems and fuse.
Incredible. Looking very much forward to that. If you like particles, now you know where to go. Get on the beginner one so you can do the intermediate without any troubles. Thank you so much again, Rosi. Amazing work.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Cool. So up next, we have all the way from Montreal, Rafael. How are you doing? Good to
Hi,
have
how are you
you.
doing? Fine, nice to meet you. I will present the project we did. I'm an interactive designer and work in a studio called Supply and Demand in Montreal. And we do multiple interactive immersive installation. And for the first time, we did our outside experiences. And we went to Buenos Aires, Argentina, to create our first experience around the IP Minecraft. So this is an outside experience in the forest. It was a pretty wide forest closed by the university, so we had to cut a little bit of trees and make our ways through wild animals and big trees. And so to build our little experiences, so I'll share the quick documents. like is the marketing document. Here, do you see everything?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the night experience. I don't show the video because like it's a bit flashy to my eyes, like for, but for just to see that we have a lot of visitors since they opened like 3 months ago now. Quite a 60 minutes experience, whatever like things. And there's like different. There's a parkour through the forest, and different experience, different installation, including 4 made with vvvv. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Most of them are not interactive. It's more scenic. The 2 other one are interactive, but not with the V4. I will skip this. I have a quick step-by-step. So you enter the parkour and you have the camp. You have some house and the people can go in and interact. You have the first experience here that you have a skeleton tracking of people and they become Minecraft characters. I'll show you some video. There is another installations where you craft some of the objects. I don't know if some of you know Minecraft, but yeah, you can craft some things and made with vvv as well. So in the installations are like a 12 installation, and kids and everyone can craft. There was this Cherry Grove interactive as well, made with vvv as well. So you put your hand to the note block and interactive some of a vine interactively with the sound, and yeah, so different scene and object not interactive. The cave, and the last one I did, it was with this waterfall. It was interactive waterfall with a LiDAR and water simulation. I can show you some pictures of the rest of the installation as well. Lights with props, and you can battle, and you were into the Minecraft game. And yes, and there's like for on the daylights like that, of object and props and stuff. So a lot of time in the forest, in the mud, in the during the fall, because it wasn't falling. So this is the waterfall, for example. It's here. You see my mouse, yes. The small LiDAR, and yeah, and to see some of the stop sharing. To see some more video. I have. I don't know. No, this is sorry. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this presentation. But, do you see the video? Yes. Do you see the video?
Yes, I can. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the kids love it. Too much fish, and I had to remove some of the fish because the kid went too crazy. And a little bit of mapping, water simulation, catching fish games, etc. For the crafting table, it was like a 2D full Skia interactive with to craft your own recipe. You have to match the one that you expected. Yeah, there was like a lot of audio interactive sound. And this is the Cherry Grove. So each of them that was interacting with each vine. It was like a small part of the track, the main track. that you had to reveal. And the last one is like more about suspension tracking. Yeah, basically. So for this one, it's quite interesting because we had to develop something with the Z camera to be able to get the Z camera through a network, through a jet on a small computer to stream the data over a network or over a long distance. And yeah, so that's pretty it. Okay, maybe sure. I don't know, where am I in terms of timing?
You still have a good 5 minutes left.
Okay. There is a different batch, but I think the most the most I don't know which one could be interesting just to show. Maybe the crafting because the crafting application. I'll show you again. Me too. Sure. It was basically two screen, and you had like the first screen to craft. You have two different level to get some difficulties, and yes, you have the suggestion about okay, now you can craft and you succeed. You have like the proper one that validates, etc. And here you had just for developer for us, like there's three different categories that we can switch between different places. And yeah, I don't remember all of them, but the kids were like, I know this one. I don't need to give me some hints. And yeah, if it were too difficult or they didn't know, there was like a small hints like that. Okay, this is but the thing is interesting about these crafting things is like we had to change the recipe which one we want to use during the process of the creation, and each of them have different variations. So I had to make during the production. I had to make just a quick application just for myself to be able to this one, the crafter, to be able to say, okay, for the bow, for the sun hole, let's say, I need 3 variation of that form because there is to craft this one. You have different ways to craft it, and I have to build like a small dictionary. So, and each time I complete my different objects, I export, and it became a small small file like that. So okay, the bow have two different positions, and there was this file that was shared with the main application. And each time I had some modification, I had just to change that XML file, and the application was just updated. It was pretty nice, and we have another project coming up, and they want to change all the recipe, so I just need to add a new object, new name, and then complete my recipe and etc. So it's pretty nice. And yeah, but I don't know, last time. Can stop sharing maybe. I don't know if I still have time or wish to.
Are we on? Yeah. I mean, if you want to show something else, I think you have still like 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, we can go to questions.
Okay. Maybe just the last picture group or yeah. Maybe. That's weird. I have too many patch openings sometimes. Yeah. I think I want to show everything, but it's not a good idea. I think there's the 4 projects running at the same time. It's Twitter, okay. Share build, no. The trigger, it was nice because there's like so many things to calibrate at the same time, but okay, everything's crashed. Okay, let's go for the question.
Well,
there's
first of all, thank you for sharing. Amazing stuff. I wrote down a bunch of questions, but maybe I won't. I'll go through a few and then let the others ask. So how many people and how long did this take? Because it looks like a lot of work.
actually, it was quite short in terms of production. It was a crazy short time. I think it was 7 months.
Ooh, okay. And
So
just
yeah,
you.
a lot of for the vvvv part, yes. There was like 2 other projects made mainly in Unreal, but the most of the project was mostly scenic, and yeah, because we had to build everything on directly in Buenos Aires. So we could not build here in Montreal, and then it was too heavy. So yeah, the main part was like okay, how to build and to coordinate with a outside team in different language. So it was the main challenge, I guess. But for developing, it was quite short. Yes.
Okay, man, impressive. And then you mentioned the set camera, you mentioned LiDAR. I assume there was a lot of projection mapping. What else was
Yeah, it was
involved?
like but it was really nice to use vvv at that point because for the full different installation, there was like different kind of needs, and all of them were like was solutioned by vvv in terms of device and in terms of yeah, like it has to be quite solid to be outside in the rain and the forests, and to be okay, like a kids proof as well. And for now, I don't know, like 3 months, and nothing crashed, nothing had some problems, so everything is perfect, and everybody's happy. But yeah, we had to develop some stuff with the Z camera because I mean the skeleton tracking was the best from my point of view, but the light condition was not the best. Dark nights, but there was a way to improve the way to stream the data over network. So it's a USB camera, but through like a Jetson as a small computer, NVIDIA computer, that we work with Jorek. The way to get the camera into this small computer into the installation, and the small computer stream the data through the SDK, and so the main server see the camera as it was directly connected with
Oh, wow.
a really low latency, and so yeah, so we had to develop this, and it's quite solid. And there's like few few things to fix yet, to which ones need to be on first, but so that's it. And it was nice as well for the crafting because it was just an application running on small computers, and it was just one application that was like spreading over 12 computers and 12 different station crafting. And it was really easy to update and to spread the different app over there. And for the interactive tree, it was mainly yeah, the SLCN nuggets that was developed quite early. I mean, it was nice to develop as well. And yeah, the LiDAR as well for the interactive waterfall. A lot of that small pieces around. And,
Quite a range of technologies.
yeah,
Huh?
a good range of different kind of installation. So it was nice to have all of that available in one software.
Very nice. And my last question is, does it mean we get VL Minecraft soon? Like VL.Minecraft as a nougat? Because it seems like you built everything already, 3D and 2D, and even the logic between the blocks and all of that.
Yeah, we had like the I did a lot of work on this, but yeah, it's not like there's a thing on Unreal that do a lot of things that now there's like a plugin that you can directly bring every object that you have and just drop it in. So we can't beat that.
Okay, fair enough.
But I did a lot of work on this, yes, project. That's quite easy to use.
Super. Do we have any questions from Rafael from the room here? Nope. All right. Oh,
Can I ask a
Alexandra.
question?
Of course.
when you are developing the logic of interactive installation, this Minecraft crafting thing, are you patching it or are you coding it? What's more, I know, easier or reliable?
What do you mean?
When you are making an interactive interface like game,
Yeah. Yes.
are you patching everything with nodes or are you making some things with just code?
No, just Node, just a Skia node and input from touch table, and yeah, it was fully Skia interactive and nothing else. It's quite solid and yeah, it's perfect.
All right. Do we have any more questions for Rafael? Anyone in the Zoom call? You get some claps and so cool from YouTube. I mean, it was amazing.
Thank you.
Vienna, maybe? I see some movement. No? No. All right. I mean, they love it as we do. So thank you again, Rafael. Very amazing. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on, we now go to Alexandra, who is already on our screen. Welcome, Alexandra. How are things going?
Hi, everyone. Really miss you. And every year I think about when finally I can come for Link or something. But last time I think it was kind of Node 2012 or something like that. But still feeling a part of community. So I'd like to tell about some projects I did in last year and a little bit more. And what I learned doing these projects and what new features of V4 are using every time. So first of them, let me share my screen with all these checkboxes. Yeah. So it's, I guess it's working now. So first project was about some students' satellites looking like this. There is a technology and science university here in Moscow, and we developed kind of city festival installations located in this university. So they proposed to do something with the data the student satellites gather, and they are they have sensors for high energy protons and electrons in magnetosphere in higher somewhere on orbit, and they like writing this data on their memory, and then when they passing through the point, how do you call it, like a control station, they pass the information and it's stored at the university storage. So they gave us some files. Where are my files? Yeah, it's kind of like that. So here's this data looking like that. So it's kind of timestamp and something, and this it contains like altitude and GPS coordinates and this measurements for these high energy particles. So the installation looked like that, kind of two LED screens. And containing some data art based on this data. So how it works, I want to show you the patch. So this is the 3D preview of the screens. This is the actual image translated to the screens. So it just took the file, reading it line by line, and then doing this trail at the map. Here it is as a separate texture. And if these values of radiation are higher, then this trail is going to be more bright, orange, red color, and like making just a bigger square. And the feedback, it's kind of stores the data in one image and then mapped on the Earth map. So we can see that near the poles and near the Argentina anomaly, they said it goes like that. The radiation is higher because when these particles from the space reaching the Earth, the Earth's magnetosphere kind of moves them from the equator to poles. So they and we see auroras because of this radiation in these zones. So it's just like that, but and also we have some data like graphs, like just I don't know, just like graphs in the bottom part, and some feedback to make it more like decorative. So, also, it has another mode. Like this one. So we have the Earth and the satellite in the place in which it gather that part of data we see right now. So here are kind of also some measurements of altitude and latitude and like GPS stuff and the energy. And everything else just effects to make the screen like bright and nice in their space of the Institute Hall. And it was quite interesting because the students and audience who came there, they had some technical mind and they asked questions, and we have had some like guided tours with artists and curators and people were very interested to know how it works and what is the data and how it became this image. So I think it's enough for this one. And I'll go to the second and switch off the patch. This one. And I will load the patch of another one and then talk about that a little bit. So this one. Sorry, I have 3 projects, so yeah, that one. 3 projects with different set of nuggets. So meanwhile, I will just speak about that. Sorry. I'd like to switch off the sound at the moment. So this was developed like a live performance, looking like this. So there was big screen and the LED floor also, and we were invited to make a performance. But previous performance before us, they stood just on the screen, like on the scene. But we decided to invite the audience to sit down on the screen, and we ourselves like went to the side just to make it more immersive. And I have some pictures. Oh, but I can just show the video. So it went like this. And all this show was about like some quantum states as the artist can imagine it not not like science art in like kind of, it's not science visualization, but it's kind of imagine like how can we feel this concept just by our artistic view. So it has some parts about quantum entanglement and about superposition and so on and so on, but imagined in a very abstract way. So it was 4 parts. The first one, like some just abstract painting kind of stuff, and the second one full of fields and particles, and the third one a little bit like the second one, but not so structured, but more chaotic maybe. And the last part, please, I will show it later because it's not on the documentation here. But here you can see Sergey, my colleague and musician. He has some pre-recorded material and also some synthesizers, which he played in real time. And I also have some audio interface, which is taking the sounds in 4 channels and make the sound analysis. But the rendering actually goes on the server, which is located in the server room, because the screen is very large and it's not, it cannot be like run on a laptop. So here I have any disk and some patch that sends by TCP, by UDP, the data from sound analysis. So it went like that. So I really like, and it's not the first time when I'm doing the live setup like that, because the server for the big screen often is located in not very convenient place, and I often like feeling grateful that with V4 I can make my own protocols on the fly and send any data from one PC to another PC, Wi-Fi or by like cable. So it just works. So now, and after we made this live performance, we adopted the same material to show on some open air festival on this like cube screen, and so we pre-recorded this material to make a video file of 5 minutes maybe. And here there is the last part which we especially like, this one. So it's all the fused procedural materials and also particles, but kind of combined together in maybe not so common way. And we tried to make it very audio reactive. And now I hope my patch is open. I will show you a little bit how it's done. And also the thing that I especially like, and I used it often also when I have to record some audio reactive material, but it's not in real time because I have to record very large resolution sequence. I have somehow preserved my synchronization between audio and graphics, and so here I pre-recorded to the texture the audio data. So I will show you also. So here is the file. It's looking like that. So here is my analysis data, some spectrum data, and some maybe another kind of analysis. But here it's only kind of stereo signal, not the 4 channels, but only because this was made with recorded at the performance sound and not real-time performance with 4 different instruments. And now we came to next part, and the next texture is uploaded to the patch, and reading it like line by line from left to right, we have this sound data. And this technique is how I always render like large-scale material when I have to make not on real time, but need to keep this synchronization for audio reactive stuff. So well, I'm not sure that I will be in timing if I will show some like graphic stuff, because in the next project I also have a lot of things to describe. But this just some particle patch, which I had to keep it like controllable. I had to separate the functions, which was kind of put in delegates to use in different compute systems, and forces is like another part, and emitters is another part, and all this is just compute, and graphics is another part. So I had to, like, when first did some sketching and decided what to keep and what to throw away, and then goes this tidy part that I love now by the time, because when it just like made some sketch, and then you don't know what to do next and what you like or what you don't like. It's time to make some order, and then you start to understand what to do with this project. So this is the last part, which I really like, because it's just grid with displays, but I so much like this playing with functions, which we can map on the fuse, with the fuse to our shaders. So like we can, I really like patching shaders now. So before I liked coding shaders with DirectX 11 in beta, but now it's completely different process, and I really like all this ability to mix all the values and all the functions, and so use position like color as color, and so just fantastic experience just doing it. So enough of this project. And also we recorded it in convenient screen format and shared it to the festival. I think many of you may know this festival. We are participating in it from, I think, 2015. And so they ran the show in Portugal this year, or no, in Bulgaria. In Portugal it was before. And so they included our work in the spring program. So the last project I would want to share is the last by time also. And it's also quite complex, like contain of several experimental techniques, which I never tried before. And the concept is that so источник, it's Russian name, but in English it sounds the source. So it's kind of reflection of our days systems that are like looking and recording our data and analyzing our data and making kind of underlying reality, like reality of how we travel, how we which digital imprint we have, and so all this personalized ads and like we are all connected through this capitalistic stuff, but we are trying to imagine kind of technically similar system, but not built to make business on us like users, but to focus not on our spendings or our economic behavior, not like biopolitics or bioeconomics, but focusing on like personality qualities and like some psychological characteristics of human. I don't know for what, but like to shift the focus to it's kind of a speculative project or fantastic project. So we imagine this reality in that the system, a surveillance system and tracking system, their purpose are other than that we have in our reality. So we imagine some aspects of personality, and for each of them, some algorithm that can be visualized. There are some classic algorithms like fractals and noises, and packings and flockings and so on, and cellular automata, like classic algorithmic art stuff. And when you are like teaching students what is algorithmic art and digital art and procedural art, you are showing all the stuff. And so we make a catalog of the personality qualities like empathy or inspiration or so on, and make some algorithmic visualization for each of these personality qualities. And then the reality, our imaginative reality is shown like this. So here is the
All
right.
You want to go to the toilet or something?
Me, no, I'm good.
Ah.
I just see that your computer, who's like the camera in the Node Institute, is picking up on someone in the back.
Yeah, the camera is going off a bit crazy. I think we're back.
Camera is
Live.
loving him.
Yes. We're back.
Actually, I think there might also be an issue on Zoom as well, because I have very weird noise on the audio that comes in. Maybe I just wanted to leave Zoom and come back. Maybe it will be solved, but it also started the moment the YouTube was frozen.
Okay. We're back. Yes, Maxine?
Oh, that's me.
Okay. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry for everyone who is on YouTube. It looks like we're back now.
Yeah.
So at this point, we are doing something a little special, and we are switching hosts all the way to Austria with our dear and beloved Amir. Welcome, Amir. Hello.
Did he say you would
Oh, did he?
reconnect? I think he said you would skip out and join back in because there's some sound issue.
Something was off. Okay, so we will wait for a minute.
Amir just asked if someone can let him in again.
All right, 1 second.
Let himself out.
Oh dear,
Oh,
it's getting worse.
Oh, we are frozen. Oh no.
I just have no idea what the setup here is. I'm afraid we have to wait for our technical lead. We need to let Amir back in. And I somehow got rid of our screen.
All right. At least that sounds better here. I don't know if
Good.
the YouTube issue is solved or not, but my issue is solved.
All right. Well, once again, then, Amir, the stage is now yours. Thank you so much for co-hosting today with me. And yes, take it from here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was supposed to show something today, and I think I had some exciting news, etc., etc. And I thought that maybe I'm not ready to present it. While the others were talking, I got very jealous, and I put together a presentation. But I don't want to do it because I know that this is Gabriella's turn, and I see that she's already ready and prepared as always. So I want to give the stage to Gabriella Gordillo. What did she bring for us? Gabby, what do you have for us?
Should I introduce your presentation afterwards? I can share a bit of my time with you.
No. I have in comparison to what you are showing and what other people have been showing. So I guess I don't even dare to even attempt to show things. So stage is yours.
Thank you. So happy to see you all. It's my first time here. And yeah, since not so long ago, I started working with vvvv. And in the beginning, like when I thought for what I want to use it, it was mainly to connect different mediums that I'm interested in. So I was working very focused in sound and very focused in like visual stuff. And so the connection between them was interesting. And the project I want to show, it's, let's say more a conceptual one. But it's about collecting memories, and because I make music with a lot of material that I gather from recordings from my phone, from found footage and so on, but mainly like personal memories. And also I take a lot of notes. So at some point I was a bit overwhelmed, like what am I gonna do with all this? Like how can I use it in a creative way? And when I encountered the digital audio workstations were always like a list of things or a very like not narrow. I know they have possibilities, but for me it became narrow how to think about music. So I wanted to open up like how to encounter this archive in a creative way. So yeah, my first idea was like maybe I can make like an array where I can like go through files, and it was like just playing them. But also I needed some meaning to play these files, like not just going one after another. So all the, let's say, the path I had with this project was discovering the meaning of this material and how can I use it in a way that makes sense. So here I'm showing you just the final documentation of what I built. I did like an interface with lights, LEDs that are triggered through Arduino, and they have, in the video I didn't use light sensors because it was a bit redundant, but in a live situation where I presented as a performance, I used light sensors. And these lights were triggering the files, or like not only like playing and stopping, but like making envelopes where the sound is like present and suddenly absent and so on. So it's a kind of navigation between these memories, these audios. There's a parallel between the light and the sound. And yeah, it's like I used also the objects or the physical interface because I wanted to explore more, yeah, like variables maybe from the physical part. And I use these translucid objects that are helping me to visualize what the light is really doing. Like normally if you have like a light that goes to a sensor, maybe the computer knows how much light is arriving, but these prisms make it visible to our eyes. And also they make beautiful shapes. So which also simulate I don't know, the patterns. They are a bit compatible with these patterns that I thought they should be soft patterns. And in my mind, this should look like the ocean, like the seashore, where like patterns are yeah, organic or fluid. So in the context of that, I will jump quickly. This was the interface. It's very, very simple, like Arduino LEDs, like shapes, and also these objects are used like, yeah, they become like that. It should work if it's a performance use it in a table. So that's why I had these like little objects that are helping me to play around.
Gabriela, sorry that I need to interrupt for a second. I think your connection is breaking up a little bit. So I would maybe kindly ask you to repeat the very last part, like the previous slide. I think from then it was a little yeah. So if you go to the previous slide and then repeat a little bit of what you said, because it wasn't very clear. Do you hear me?
Oh, which are to become? Yes. Oh, shit. I don't know how to improve it because, to be honest, I have problems also and with the connection, and I'm phone, so I don't know.
No, that is good. I don't know if that's still a thing. If that is still a thing, but maybe if you turn off your camera, maybe it could slightly improve, or at least mentally, I would think that it is going to improve. Let's see if it does have any effect. Go. Let's see. Let's go. Let's move on.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. All good.
Do you see it? If not, I can just go later.
I see. No, so far it's really good.
It's better? Okay. So what I was doing to work with sound is I was controlling the lights, but I decided to use simplex noise pattern to coordinate all these samples and so on. So this is how I wanted to make to orchestrate them. Like what you see here is a patch that works much for myself and my performance. So that's why it's like costume made in the sense of while I have this like functions of the light, the Arduino and so on. This is sent through OSC to a VCB rack. So the sound is coming from there, and this is why there I have all freedom to work with samples and like envelopes and so on. See the signals are arriving, and then I'm using them as in this VV side. I started to do while I went forward, trying music. More variables needed to be controlled. So that's why I had, for a reference, I defined some kind of, so I one scene of a certain value correspond to a certain harmony, the MIDI side, or different parameters for the samples. So that's how I like tied everything. Well, please let me know when the time is over because I didn't check the. I think that's what I can say. Like in general, from the patch, it's like very. Oh, sorry about this lagging. I did a performance where I was like using it live in this way with the sensors and live visualization. And then there's also some track that I used where you can hear how like this a combination of
I have a question, Gabriela. I think maybe this was the part that I didn't understand or I didn't pick up.
noise with samples of memories. Yeah. Tell me.
Cool. My question was one part that I didn't understand is that are you running your VSP separate in a separate software, or is it a VST that you're running that one also in V4, and then basically is it like a VST, or is it something that you're running it and then sending the data via, I don't know, one of these communication panels?
No, I'm just using direct like full live. I think we lost them, but it's okay. I will stop sharing. Maybe that improves. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry
let's
about
see.
the lagging.
Yeah, no worries. Is there a link for those things that you showed? I think that was one of them, at least
Yeah,
was on YouTube,
I
wasn't
can
it?
send it to you.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
If you send it here, I will make sure that I will also post it on our chat in the Element, or maybe also we can put it on YouTube. Brilliant. I think I saw this. I think I saw this YouTube video, or it was on social media or something, and I saw it and was really impressed by it. And I thought it's huge. Like I thought it's like a very big one. But now when I was seeing other shots, I was like, oh, actually, it's very delicate and it's really nice. So what is the like? Do you think is this something people could expect if they are taking your courses at the Node Institute? Is this something that they can expect to build?
Actually, it would be nice to focus a course on that. I think our courses are more like going straightforward to the point of some like aspects of the workflow. But I think it's nice to think in different terms, like project oriented or concept oriented is nice. It helps it. Like it's really so easy to prototype that this is exciting.
Yeah, that is really cool. Yeah, I'm very impressed, and I'm always very happy to see more. I would like to know if somebody has any question, whether people in Berlin or Vienna or anybody else online. Do we have a question for Gabriela? Yeah, no worries. I think I have these links over here, and I try to definitely put them on the chat and then afterwards in the YouTube comments, so people can also have access to them. The connection happens. You know, this is the gods of internet. Sometimes they need their own time to get things running. But thank you very much. I need to mention again that Gabriela Gordillo, together with the gang, with Christoph and Rosi, are part of people at the Node Institute who are taking care of a lot of beginners or intermediate, from beginners to intermediate of vvvv courses. If you have if you're taking one of those courses, or you're planning to do that, or you have done that before, definitely you know these faces. So I'm also very happy to see them more and more in the meetups. Thank you so much for sharing your work. If there is no comment or if there is no question, we could pass on the presentation to the next person, and I have it in my list. It should be, interesting. Next person is Randall. Gabriela, do you have any question, or do you have anything else to say?
No, all good. Thank you so much for your time.
Good. It was a pleasure to have you as always, and looking forward to seeing you in the next one as well. Thank you. Randall, the stage was yours and the stage is yours, so I don't know what to say.
What a pleasure to present against such a host. It's really a luxury. Let's try this. Let me say what we all say on every meeting. Let me share my screen. And hopefully you see, how do I get rid of this? That should be fine. Yes. So this is a little work in progress. I've been vibe coding, which for better or worse, I haven't written a single line of code, and I'm not particularly proud of it, but it was the way to get my lazy ass to explore this idea. It's called VL text interpolation. It's very much work in progress. So I'm afraid the presentation will be more about conceptual stuff than cool live demos. We will have a little bit of a live demo at the end, but bear with me on that front. And so this is VL text interpolation, a vibe-coded journey through words, spaces, and everything in between. And I also took some liberties to make it a little bit of personal history documentation on how I've ended up with these ideas and with the V4 world. So the origin story is, for many years, I was riding public transportation back in Costa Rica, which is very inefficient and takes a long time. And that meant I had a lot of time to write little short stories, poems, thoughts, and things in many, many notebooks that are piling up in some closet back of my father's house. That eventually turned into a little bit of blogging, but I had no idea about V4 at the time. And then a few years later, around 2013, we had first contact. So there's evidence on the screen right now. I had a projector and a Kinect at the time, and a book, C# book, showing how to use Kinects. And so I had the question, how do I connect these two things? And a quick online search threw me in the ways of V4. And you can see my very first forum post back in March 2013. And shortly after that, my first few email interactions with Jorg, who I didn't even know was the head developer or one of the developers, me trying to create my little first, Kinect Dev Point Cloud, fully CPU based, completely inefficient, very naive. I didn't even know what a GPU was at the time, but that's more or less how things began. And sure enough, I started trying things out. You can see here, very high-end technical setup with electrical black tape holding some pillowcases and some boxes with white sheets on top, which turned out to be a single projector video mapping exercise, and then a little bit of point cloud sound reactive stuff. That's me whistling over there. And then at some point, using the Kinect to get people to draw things and play around and whatnot. This is really the old days. Then in 2026, we had the first encounter. I bought a one-way ticket flight to Serbia to meet all my heroes, and essentially dedicated my time to stalking the V4 group across the border. So first I ran into Elias, Sebastian, and Dominic in Belgrade. You can also get a glimpse of our dear Motsi over there. A few months after, I found the remaining two developers. Well, I'm missing Anton still, in Switzerland at the mapping festival. And I made sure to also get to know them and spend some time together. And then you can see, like, the Last Supper, Tevian even has his little Jesus hand pose over there. And now we have Anton in the scene as well. You can see a lot of hair and youth flowing all around. And it was the best decision ever. It's still paying up every day. So I had all these pieces of text lying around, not sure what to do. And now I'm more or less capable in this interactive new media world. And then the idea popped up. How can I use these things and make them somewhat interesting or a bit more interactive? And it begins. I ran into this post in Instagram. I don't remember the exact date, but some guy, well, this guy, made this little demo, just a poem with some animations. And I thought, well, I can do that. So sure enough, I popped up VL Open, threw my own text and played with Skia for a bit, and ended up with a very similar copy of his work. There's no artistic merit to me in this regard, but it felt like something. But it was a bit boring. And yes, wavy texts are better than nothing. It wasn't really all that interactive, and I could only use one piece of text at a time. And I kept having this feeling that there must be something better, So we go back to the drawing board. Some time goes through, and of course, when you go into the V4 world, you keep hearing this interpolation word being thrown around. So I got into it. What is this interpolation thing? And for those of you who may not know, interpolation is just a mechanism through which, knowing 2 points of data, you can more or less estimate the points of data in between them. There's multiple ways you can do that. The easiest one is what we call the linear interpolation, or a LIRIP, which is basically you draw a straight line between the 2 points, and then you can sample this line and you can calculate the intermediate values. So if we have 10 here and 50 here, at half of that length, the value should be 30, and so on. And we use this all the time in VL and in vvvv. And so that was already kicking something in my brain. Then I saw you can do color interpolation, which is much more interesting than just numbers, no? And here, you know, you can have red in one end, blue in the other end, and then you get all the shades in between. And here you get an interesting new concept thrown into the table, which is color spaces. It turns out that different people have different ideas of how colors can be arranged in regards to each other. And then when you interpolate between two colors, you get very different results, no? So you can see here, this would be 50% interpolation between red and blue in the RGB color space. But if you go to the HSL color space, you get a very different looking thing. And then you have, of course, OK Lab, which is dealing more with how our eyes actually perceive color, and so on. So all of these ideas were somehow coming together. Here you get another visualization. For example, in RGB, you can get a very nice linear interpolation pattern, but in OK Lab, the interpolation is actually a bit more sophisticated because they're using all these perceptual notions of how we move from one color to the other. So, you know, it's all coming together. And then we go to the aha moment. At the meetup number 24, that's, I think, 2.5 years ago, Tevian showed this very cool, and I think I made the rookie mistake of not putting the audio on. So we can read the subtitles. He was showing his AI work. It was, I think, the first time he showed his Python AI-based library. And he's telling us here how, of course, you have these prompts that generate the images, but in the background, what they're actually doing is they're converted into vectors in this latent space, however many dimensions the AI is using. And the interesting thing there is that you can have prompt A, which is translated as, I think, a 3D vector, and prompt B as a 3D vector, and then you can just do math with them, no? And then you can add stuff or subtract stuff, and you can also, of course, interpolate between them. So I think pretty soon he will be scrolling down where we see the actual LERP nodes. Let me try and skip a little bit ahead. And, oh, sorry about that. So I think at some point around here. Yeah, you see, now he is interpolating between two completely different prompts, and you get all this weird, impossible to write a prompt for in between results. And this was really like the, okay, hang on, there's something to this, you know? It completely blew my mind at the time, and it stuck with me. So at some point, thinking again about my text, I wondered, well, can we do the same thing with characters and even words? Can we define spaces, for example, phonetic space, organize the characters or even words in distances relative to each other in such a space, and then learn between them and see what happens? And so I said, hey, Claude, hold my beer. Let's see where we can go with this. And a couple of nights afterwards, I had this kind of conceptual idea. So the core concepts we're going to be seeing here are elements, which are basically characters or words, the things you lay out in whichever space you're using. A space, which is just this definition of how things are laid in space in terms of each other, usually in terms of distance, know how things are laid out geometrically. And then I introduced this idea of a navigator. This is the entity, the thing that you will throw into this space and have it move between the origin and the end elements. And then I introduced the idea of affinities. So essentially, you can think of it, if you think of the navigator as a creature that is put in this space to move across it, affinities are like its senses. So, you know, sight, hearing, these kind of things, and they will determine more or less how this navigator will choose to pick the next element to move to and which ones it will lean to more than others and so on. And of course, it only made sense that this should be composable or stackable, no? So I can, of course, have a navigator and give it, you know, a semantic affinity, but also a phonetic affinity, and even weigh them so that maybe he cares 90% about meaning, but he's also 10% interested in how things sound. And then you can build like this kind of little different creatures with different preferences and throw them in your different spaces and see how they behave. And the last concept is behaviors. And this is just more like a little bit of eye candy, or just a little more dynamic way of going from one state to the other. So it basically determines how the text changes. Is it going from word to word all at once? Or is it changing letter by letter? Or is it changing word by word? And so on. So those are the core concepts. When we talk about spaces, so far I've introduced 3 separate spaces. Orthographic space, which is essentially what letters make up the word, how it looks, how it's written. Phonetic space, which is how the words sound. And semantic space, which is what the elements mean, which is only applicable to words. The other 2 you can still apply to single characters. Then when we talk about the navigator, I think I basically already went through this. And then when we talk about affinities, you can plug and play different affinities into your navigator and weigh them, as I was saying before, and configure each individual navigator in its own special way. And behaviors, like I said, are dealing with how the different transitions happen. So for example, you can think about a typewriter behavior where things are deleted and written again, or a stagger behavior where it's changing character through character, one after the other, or a wave effect where you have some sort of bounce back transition, or a shuffle where it's a bit more random. And of course, you can define your own and combine them as you see fit. So show me what you got. Well, I skipped this part, but when I say I have a lot of, so, you know, these are blogs from back in the day. This is 2006. This is another blog from, I mean, now this is in the Wayback Machine. You cannot find this anymore online, but, you know, several blogs, and you can see that this is really a lot of text that I have lying around. No? Like, this is all written by me, 96 pages on this one, 10 on this one, and I think we're up to 90 something on the other one. But just so you get a sense of the scale of how long it takes to write buses back in Costa Rica. All right, so let's look at the patch. And again, very much work in progress, completely vibe coded, still not fully impressive, and I don't have anything graphical, so we'll just be looking at IO boxes and trying some things out. But let's start with the semantic space. What I did was, with the help of Claude, go online, find dictionaries that have information about phonetics, that have information about semantics, download this 10, 15 gigabyte files, parse them, get rid of all the first names and country names, and sort of pre-process them and express them in some way that is not so heavy to go through. So that's what you have over here.
Are you full screen and Zoom?
Yep. And so, for example, in this example, we are doing a semantic space navigator example. We're going from the word cat to the word moon. So there's not much meaning correlation there. This is my dictionary. I think this one is only in English. I'm also exploring multilingual, and we will get to that in a minute. This is your space loader. And then you have your navigator options, which is essentially your configuration, where you get different parameters you can play with. I still don't understand what half of these are doing. You can also have two different modes of transitioning between space. Walk is using the affinities to find the closest word for the current position, while gradient draws a line in space from point A to B and then projects the closest words on this line to find the next best candidate. So a bit of variance in how it behaves. And then you create your navigator, you create your text layer. This is the behaviors. And I also have this aligner idea, which is how do you handle when things have different lengths or different white spaces or different punctuation characters. You also need to deal with that in an elegant way. So that's the aligner idea. And you can also give it waypoints. If you absolutely wanted to go from A to B, but touching C, you can give it waypoints that it needs to hit on the way from A to B. And so here we have, I mean, of course you can lerp, and you will see in my IO box below what it's doing, but I built a little patch here just so we can see 15, maybe we can go up to 17. I'm sure there'll be some repeats there, but let's see what it came up with. So again, we're going from cat to moon, and it's going cat, Catwoman, Superman, Kryptonian, Earthling, planet, moon. Now there's a semantic path between them, a bit unexpected, but certainly there's some sense to it, And you can see if we switch now to gradient instead of walk, you will get something different, And now it's going cat, canine, hound, Labrador, fluffy, tanuki, which is this Japanese raccoon dog thing, whatever the hell that is, And then Leo, Libra, Astro, whatever the hell that is, planet, Jupiter, moon. So you can get a sense of more or less what is going on here. Of course, changing the parameters will give you different things. Maybe we can try if we have some suggestions on A to B, just to see it do something different.
Can you do also sentences?
At the moment, no. At the moment, what I call granularity is only characters and words, because sentences, you would need to create these massive dictionaries with all the permutations of meaningful sentences, and it gets then a little crazy. Yeah.
Can you please add
Randall.
waypoint praxis?
What was A?
Please add a waypoint called praxis.
A waypoint.
Yes.
I'm afraid that I've never used the waypoint, so no idea what this is gonna do. But let's try it. Hey, come on. And I need a string spread. I will see with praxis. My fear is that praxis might not be an English dictionary word, but we can sure as hell try. So let's see. Boop. Yep, I think it doesn't really work that well. Let's try maybe something that is something in English, like book. All right, and now, is it really hitting book?
Bookshop.
Yeah, maybe we need more steps to actually see what it's doing. Oh, that was too much. Book is there. Yeah, so you see it's cat, tomcat, Cujo. I have no idea what these things are. Dickens, Dostoevsky, literature, bookshop, bestseller, book, read, grimoire, diary, page, album, disc, voyage, voyager, horoscope, astrology, astronomy, Jupiter.
Randall, I need to mention two things. As much as I am enjoying myself watching you changing things, because it's the most fun I have had over a long time, I need to tell you that maybe there is not much time left. I know that everybody's super excited. And at the same time, in parallel, Alexandra says that Usagi is a rabbit that we had in the previous preset that you said, whatever that would be. And also at the same time, Christopher did a little bit of a research in the background and found who is a Doraemon, if I pronounce the name correctly. It's just a cat character you can see them on the element. So everybody's very engaged so far. But I need to also mention that we have one more presentation.
Let's wrap it up. Yes. So I want to comment on one example I found while I was working on this at Link. I was trying to go, I think, again from cat to Jupiter or moon or something like this. And what I got out was cat, tomcat, Solaris, sun, moon, something like that. And I couldn't make any sense of it. I asked the agent what was going on. It went through the dictionaries and it told me, yeah, well, you know, tomcat, so cat is a cat, tomcat is another feline, but it's also a web server developed by Apache, which is Apache Tomcat. And then Solaris is an operating system developed by the same people who is Sun Microsystems, the fourth word. And then you got two moons. So it went cat, tomcat, Solaris, sun, moon, which was quite unexpected. And let me then just quickly show very quickly that this is the other example where it's phonetic. And here it's also doing multi-language. So we're going from Wasser, water in German, to night in English. And I have no idea what half of these words languages are or what they mean, but you can see that it's going phonetically through similarly sounding words in multiple languages. So that's more or less where we are. It was all built with AI, but it's not using AI to generate these results. It's all running locally in dictionaries and so on. And so if we go back to the presentation, we have the final slide. Where are we and where are we going with this? Actually, second to last slide. It's all entirely Vibe coded. It's currently supporting phonetic, orthographic, and semantical spaces. It handles multilingual options for spaces. You have the walk and the gradient things. It's using these large dictionaries that I need to figure out how to package so that people can download them without putting them in the Git thing. And you can expect a GitHub repo / NuGet in the next month or so. And what is this good for? I still don't know. I don't even know how I'm going to use it. But things that have come across my mind is potentially language therapy, especially the phonetic thing. Poem lerping with a Kinect is kind of an installation I'm thinking about. As you approach the thing from different angles, you get to see different texts and the transition between them. You could also potentially use it to make multi-language UI transitions more interesting. And Yorick's idea was it might be useful for rap battles. So we'll see where it goes.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for this amazing project.
Right.
Brilliant. There is a wise man said, a poet that says a poet, whether using a typewriter or a gray note-based IDE. So I guess you are the same poet as you were before. Thank you so much. And I think, I don't know if you have more repos than all those poems and texts that you have on your Google Drive, but I guess you're still writing, and I'm happy to have you around, Randall. Amazing. Good. If there is, I guess there are a lot of questions, but I would kindly ask you to keep your questions to yourselves if they are not so urgent. So we could go to Confab and then afterwards, perhaps we go back if you have time for another round of, or is there an immediate question? I'm just trying to be a good host. Okay, no immediate question, because I know that this is one of those presentations that we can get creative and then he's going to share his screen again, just show a tiny thing and then we lose the track of time. But I promise that we'll get back to Randall at some point. So the next on my list is the man himself, Kopfaben. What do you have for us at this time, Johannes? Do you hear us? There you are. That's a dramatic zoom.
Wait. Let's go.
I need to do some announcements. Maybe like I keep them for the very end. I guess you're already ready, right?
Yeah, I'm more or less ready. Yes.
Okay.
Can I have the screen? There it is. Sorry, on my laptop. It's a little bit. Where is share screens? It's too small.
In the meantime, Randall, people say a workshop would be amazing. I would
I
say
need to
still a
understand
rap battle.
first.
Do you have some?
Something I could add
Not
quickly is
really.
that I did some
Videos?
research if
No.
anyone has thought about these kind of things before, and sure enough, there's a few papers. Even the guy Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, had this
Yeah.
idea of word ladders. So I need to get into the academic side of it. For sure, there's more to it.
So let's start. I want to present via IOMCP. It's the ID, talk to your pitch. It's the idea how to learn cloud or any LLM, how to patch. That's the idea behind. The idea is change the patch, see it run, and exact the same for the LLM. Next one, I don't know if anybody knows what the model context protocol is. This is just a server how Cloud or Cloud Desktop or Gemini, whatever codecs can talk to other programs, and can control them or whatever. The VL and IOMCP, it's a little bit unhandy name. Maybe we change it later in patch body or something like this. It runs inside the vvvv process. It can read everything you can read by your own in an editor. It knows documents, patches, notes, pins, links, etc. And it's hooked up somewhere there in the compiler. I generate a big, so for now it's more or less more static code analysis, something like IDE for VL. But later it's become more powerful. What's going, still it can control everything you can do with a mouse in your editor. It can generate subpatches, it can open a patch, make a link, whatever you know. Altogether, I end up with 81 tools today, but they're too much for now. It's just development stuff, the most of it. So the next, how to I code it? First, I start in spring. I think after one meetup here, I don't know, remember it's spring 20. I start vibe coding to write the MCP surface for VL, so that the LLM got all tools that you can do with the mouse on the editor, and it figured out, the LLM can create a node, can build a node browser, whatever, but it was not possible to create any cool stuff because the VL don't know what we have in the libraries. So you don't know the Perlib, you don't know Stride, you don't know nothing. So you don't know how he can build nodes, but don't know what nodes are existent and what the nodes do and how to combine them. So I think a little bit and end up with the second part. I write my own. The problem was that AI need to handle all the GUIDs inside VL. So if you look inside, wait, I just show you just the patch open in. What's this? What is it? Anybody?
Okay.
What?
It's okay. You see,
Yeah, VVVC, but how can I it's it again.
Control scroll down.
Mhm.
Control minus.
Click the scroll button.
Or double click on the edge.
On the edge.
Yeah.
Is there something like zoomed or whatever? Go, please go. Oh, yeah, okay. It's now better. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of grades there, so that's the real problem. So the idea, just not too much. So I decide, is it possible to write something that the LLM maybe understand, but without the ballast of where are the nodes and what the GUIDs of the nodes, so totally position free and totally GUID free that I present on link. This was, I called it IR. This was some pseudocode style language, how to design, to show what's happening inside the patch. It works a little bit. But it figured out it's not a cool language for the LLM because they don't know it. So it was just my own. So the next was, just let's try write a compiler for VL for C# and back from C# to VL again. It's maybe a little bit overacted, but yeah, let's have a look on it. Okay, let's go to VL. So now I have an MCP. It's just a HDE extension running inside the VL editor. I can add libraries. In this example, I add a corelib, the stride, and the spear, and everything dependent on it. I analyze it, I create a database out of it, I generate documentation for it. I need some time and some agents to do this. Yeah, and now we have some funny tools like the Finder, my Finder. Let's use. Here you can see the generated summarizes, and no, it's somewhere popped up with something with smooth. You can see it, or is this, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's super small, but I think I can't change the zoom. Yeah, it's just hard coded in GUI. Yeah, but it works, and sometimes it works to copy and paste it. Sometimes.
Wait, sorry, are these the existing nodes that you're searching, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. That all nodes. So I have at all together something around 60,000 or 40,000 nodes inside these three libraries. The most is the HDI. No, the most is the corelibs and HDI. Yeah, it's all. I have a database with 180 megabytes for everything. It's a graph database. I can. And the other is there are the internal nodes included.
Yeah.
Because I need them as hopping points. That's all nodes inside. Yeah, let's delete this. But here you find only the public ones. Yes, so I have built a chat interface with this, but it's don't work anymore. So we need to switch to cloud to control this. But later on, we can build it patch interface. Yeah, you can add workspaces. It's your patches you're working on. That will be auto reloaded, auto indexed, indexed when you save them. Yeah. So let's have a look what we can do with this. I have here cloud code. just let's ask some stuff. You see, but here I have no. Yeah. Model überlastet. What? Oh, come on. Yeah, but it's just on it.
Normal.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe we can have a deeper look for it. Let's look to the nicer thing, the HDI. Yeah. So this is how this patch, it's not much, it's a LFO and I for each loop in operation. Yeah, and this is how this is looking. This is the C# code for it. And for this, kann ich das verschieben? Yeah, I tried to find for every, so the region was the most difficult problem on it. I found, so this is running, so this code, it's actually going through a real Roslyn and have complete EDE features. So autocomplete, callers, whatever you want, what you expect. Yeah, maybe that is, it goes this day to day. The preview, yeah, but yeah, and have some funny features like this one. And of course, it's
What is that?
it's
wow.
two-directional.
Wow.
Yeah. And even you can change here. So this is the count. Let's do this a little bit more.
What?
Wait. 50. Where I 50. Enter. Now we are running in a loop. If I change something, then my compiler try to apply it. And if it's possible to apply, because sometimes it's not possible because you write something in C# that's not really playable in VL. He say, yeah, I can't do this, but I try to make it most things working. So we need some more regions for feature completeness and so on. And if I go to apply, it changes to 50.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, you can even do this with complicated one. Yeah, whatever.
Delete a link.
Delete the link. Oh, that's hard.
That's hard. Okay.
That's hard because
Sorry.
because links are logic. Yeah, but the idea is this is just a function of the this C# code here. It's just a function of the patch, and it's well known for the LLM because it's just C#. And the MCP have more or less a whole EDE feature set, so you can search for nodes, where it's used, who is using, whatever, what you expect of the, and even for later, I want to build this inside so that the LLM can expect, so that I have a tool that the LLM can expect the current value of a node or of a pin or of a, like the inspector does, or of a spread. Yeah, this is more or less working. Here you can see I have the complete, yeah, here this is maybe interesting. That's the numbers, the core lab have 9,400 different applications. Let's go to some animation.
4D has one.
Put some filter. Oh.
Yeah, the real problem are for doing this is all the overloading. So because we have more overloadings than C#, because it's not just symbolic overloading. You have the you have the linear. You have sometimes this version. This is squares. That's for the backway. Sometimes my compiler don't know what exactly. So here the LFO, we have two versions of the LFO. So this is. But this is no, I had it better. But this is coming from the database. I didn't was able to re-index the whole thing. Maybe from here. Open this cover. No. It's reading. Sometimes it's I give a fuck for performance. Just let's wait that the compiler do things. Yeah, now we have the better one. By the way, this is a Avalonia edit so it's planned to include there for C# files and SDSL with the full EDA set. So that's planned for the future. But that's just yeah. Okay. Here's some weird stuff inside. I'm not. Was, Johannes?
Oh ja.
Ja. Oder Kopfhörer, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever is maybe weird.
Kannst du uns ein bisschen abholen, was jetzt gerade, was wir sehen mit dem LFO, ist das, wie das schon in V4 intern aussieht? Oder
Nein.
hat es jetzt gerade MCP generiert?
Das hat mein Compiler. That's my compiler. Inside, we can have a look. We have this funny code.
Sorry, I just need to police the meetup. It would be good to have the question also in English and the answer also in English.
I can
please.
translate.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so the question was just, or I just tried to follow up on what's happening actually, and that's why I asked whether this LFO patch that we are seeing is something that's already automatically internally made like this in V4, because I never saw it, or if it's something that MCP has just generated. And Johannes said that that's the generated.
Yeah, I don't know why this compiled code
patch
didn't.
we see is
Your patch.
Yeah.
Is the patch.
That exists already before.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the right side, the code.
Yeah, the code. Okay, yeah. No, I didn't know that. I thought that would be anyway all coded in C#.
So what VL is is doing is this C# code that's back compiled from EL, I think. It's totally not readable, not understandable, and bigger. Some bigger. Yeah, they're coming more. And this one. Yeah, and this is the from my compiler decompiled stuff, and it's tried to make it as readable as possible, and just trying to describe the function, so just what this patch is doing, and hide everything, every positioning data out of it, hiding every. What's happening here? Okay. Yes, the LLM can understand what this is doing. Yeah. It's not finished. It's working in both directions. I can change it here and change it there, but yeah, it's still developing.
Yeah, I have an immediate question. What would you see this I don't know, like MCP in the patch editor in vvvv? Like, in what scenario do you see that it just comes handy or useful? Because I personally assume, like, I don't know, like, do you think that you open a blank patch editor and then you just start chatting and seeing that the nodes are coming together, links getting connected, etc., etc., or do you see it more as a debugging tool?
This is a really cool debugging tool because it expects the execution. You can read the execution order of every patch inside this. That's the big problem. But this is textual, it's going from up to down, so the execution order is clear. Not here, not here. And it takes the ordered stuff from your compiler. So it's how it is executed. Yeah, this is more or less for me debugging interface to see. So what I do is I create a agent loop for VL, and I need to present something to the LLM, and I decide. So I have 3 incarnations of my representation. This is the C# is the 3rd. There was one before, and this pseudocode stuff. I want to present this the LLM, including all the EDA features Rosman brings. So it's not built anything, yeah, but I think we have, if we try it here, maybe not in this LFO. No, where we are here. So you have autocomplete. Let's try. Look, it's working. Sometimes no, it's today not working. I think. There's the autocompletion. And LLM have more or less the same surface for something like this. Then I want to bring this for C# files inside VL. We can use this editor just with the EDA features for editing C# files inside VL. And of course, even for SDSL files with Debian's LSP support with the same EDA features for SDSL. So that's the point, and you can inspect your patches with this funny tool.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
It's running.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
But it's not intended to be used as a agent to put nodes in your patch through AI.
That's the goal. That's the goal. We can try it, but the clock was.
Because that's actually, I think everybody's waiting for, no?
Yeah, but it takes time. Open. But this takes time from the new patch. And use tried to build a solar system.
No way.
Let's do it. Let's going. Yeah, it works sometimes. So it can't use. So this C# toolface is not finished yet completely. So it tried to use it but it's working in this way. The LLM can use it for understanding, but the way back, it's works sometimes not. The main problem is something like this.
Well, I know Chris is has
so-
promised already to make a solar system new tutorial, like a video, and upload it there. Maybe could also ask when the moment that the patch is done, also upload on YouTube, so Chris doesn't need to do it anymore.
The model is over. Maybe we use. Wait, let's start.
Use another one, no? Another one.
Let's. Wait. It's hard. Is it something local? It's fine. Opus. Yeah. But this takes time now because we use Opus and it's not this fast. But yeah. So I tried it. This is my standard test, and I built a lot of solar systems.
A lot of solar systems.
Yeah. Let's wait if something happens. So sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't work. Yeah, the idea is all the low. I did, on some point, if the C# array is working, I disable all the low-level debug stuff. So at a node, right, make a pin, just write, say the LLM just look at this, write C# and give me a solar system, and then it's much more faster than this. So I need for every create a pin is one tool call. And then he goes, no, you have something wrong. Because now we try build a solar system with all the GUID stuff. You need to figure out, and you need a lot of the tool calls to figure out from which GUID to which GUID and which document and which. Yeah, it's maybe let's have a look if we have. He started solar system. No, he's still thinking. Yes, let's wait. Maybe he got it, but I showed it on link. It worked sometimes. But the idea is bring the C# stuff to full working. So now I have so my goals is the first thing I try. Okay, is this code what is generated? Is it is it compilable with Postman? That's the first check. That's level 1. Then the next, yeah, okay, can I compile it back to the VL patch with the same UI grids and so on? So completely, that's my goal. And for this, I always try all in some points. I have 94% it's working for Stride, Skia, and Colab. So it's not all. So some really simple things totally not working. So here. So yeah, what he did is. And let's just try some stuff. Reading new pet something configure type string. We have something. What you expect looks at C#.
Reading.
It's a record.
It's reading.
Yeah, it's really, yeah, now you're compiling it, the whole, so it's not good. There's a lot of stuff flying around inside this. I'm still reading. Oh, come on. Yeah, my laptop is really old, so on my working machine, it's much more faster reading. Oh, come on.
So it will create new snapshots.
Hmm?
The C# code will create new instances of the record.
No, he just translated. First, he just tried to translate it to. Where we are. We still have no. The LFO is inside here. Here's the record. Yeah, and he's just going to write the record. Yeah, C# record, by the way.
Which is not correct.
Yeah, I handle it to the way back.
All right.
And,
That is
and the
really
idea,
cool.
And the idea is I have exceptions. So if the LLM writes something that is possible in C# but not possible in VL, then it have an exception or an error, and they try to explain the LLM what the problem is, and you can't do this. The same if the LLM try to fetch something, to write something, and then the user got the way back. Oh, okay, maybe you try to write something, it's not possible, something with events, for example. Maybe just we want to write a C# for it, just make a note that can handle. So that's the far array idea. Yeah, it's looking for a solar system. Still thinking. Yeah, I think he
You have the right notes right there. I mean,
yeah, maybe. Sometimes he opens help patches and so on. This is fun. Yeah, you can open notes, patches. We have
to learn,
documents.
like to check.
Yeah, he still stuff. He's
still on it.
He's still on it. He has
He created a
dependence.
document.
He created a document, but didn't connect Stripe to it. Now maybe let's wait.
But what is it doing? I mean, is it creating the C#?
Do you know how hard it is to create a solar system in VL? It takes some time.
Yeah, I know it as well. Don't put me in front of
we can look at what is.
You have seen it.
Yeah. I see it a lot. Yeah, now he tried. So first he tried to make it on the poor C# way, because my MCP is just saying try the C# way, but it didn't work. And then he tried to make. What?
The Stripe is happening now. Something's blinking down there.
Is it Stripe? Yeah, he did something.
He did something.
Is the renderer is open?
He opened the renderer. So he. Oh yeah, Simedo, yeah. But maybe there will be more
progress.
Yeah, we have some progress. So
let's put it to the side.
No, there's
window away. Let him patch.
Let's look what they're doing.
There you go. The tutorial is finished.
What?
The tutorial is.
The tutorial is finished.
Yeah, no, not yeah, but I think now he figure out. Now he's trying all the these ones he's looking for now, and this is a lot of tool calls. That's why.
Okay, guys, let's be nice to the agent. Let's doing his best.
Yeah.
I am wondering, although I really want to know where does it go. I'm wondering how long do we have still, and if we have generally questions, or if we have another presentation, we could let it run. Johannes, please let your screen be shared.
Maybe I have something more here in mind. I just, of course, the undo stuff is working completely, even if the LLM is doing. Yeah, you can structure, even you can. It's built up that I can edit the C# code and the LLM can edit the C# code, and then because everything is built on merging multiple models. So I can structural edit. Yeah, this is C#. Yeah, now it's just local. So I know the LLM is not local, but the MCP is local.
Oh, set in the sun.
He did something. We have something. Normally he forget the light and don't.
Another node.
Another node. A sphere. Yeah.
The sun is coming. Light will
Sphere.
come.
What we have? Yeah, I have some. How I built this? Yeah, I have this gamma and then an MCP proxy in a way that hold the tool surface that I can stop gamma and it come back and connect to the proxy. Even the MCP itself is running as a C# project, so it's editing it as so VL compile it if the my LLM for patching for byte coding that's MCP. If the LLM changes this, then VL can running and just recompile because it's just now in one big C# project. Need to change later. What we have, yeah, we have a really big DLL stuff, but that's this. Yeah, and the how it works under the hood, I create for the whole symbols in VL shim, so a small, it's not a small C# surface. Just for the compilers that Rosi have something to bind to. So I create for every node, for every method, a little C# script snippet compiler. Yeah, and I think it's built in 7 seconds for the whole and 69,000 operations for the nodes that I usually use, so Skia, Stride, and Corlib. What is this here? Maybe not this interesting. Yeah, it's totally tested. So I've through so testing. So I have more lines of code tests than
Code itself.
code itself.
The fact
So
that
that's how to yeah. That's one of my compiler laws. Yeah, this is yeah, I tried for things it's directly where C# things exist. I try to use this. So for if else for using for each, but for each loop in VL, it's not for each in C#. So it's have something like this right here. So some yeah. No, it's. Yeah. What is this? Yeah, the idea is always used that LLM can use the ER plan mode. So he got the C# from the patch, then he changed it, then he planned it, then he got some errors somewhere. Maybe this is not working, this is not working, and or he got the okay. Now you can use apply. Yeah, model-wise is I used always diff merge and diff stuff. It's similar. I try to clone the behavior from Brüll and stuff and the VL itself. What is this? Yeah, this is my test strategy, how to fix it, how to handle. I have pure unit tests and the real MCP protocol where I try call MCP stuff. Then the headless VL runtime, we have a lot of test patches that, yeah, just try to compile and back and so on. And then the vvvv itself is running inside the stuff. This one level 4 test, my thought. And my LLM, my cloud code can start vvv by itself and run tests. So I don't need to be at home to start vvv if I coding from my smartphone or white code. Yeah, there's some information here, some funny stuff.
A lot of tokens.
Yeah, the Cloud Max, the big one for, I think, when I started, somewhere written 13 weeks ago, yeah. Yeah, let's have a look to the solar system.
What was it, 70,000 lines of
The
code?
root scene is connected to the scene
What?
window.
70.
We should count hours. So.
But there are a lot of tries inside. It's not clear, so I need to. At the end, I need a really big refactoring for all this. Yeah, the solar system today not working. Oh, it works. It's still working.
You removed the sphere.
Yeah. Connection to the scene.
Yeah, but I didn't get an answer to my question.
What was the question?
What does it do? What does it try to do right now? So I understood it. You go via C# because that helps the AI agent to learn C#. It knows it fluently, and so it can produce C# and create the patch in no time. But then translating it back to VL patch with all the GUIs and all this. This is the hard part. That's how I understood it. That's why you go via C# so that you can edit in C#, have a small understandable C# file, and when it's understandable, it's also understandable for the AI. So and so on. But can we see what it tries to do in pure C# terms before it tries to map it back to VLs?
Not yet. He didn't show it. I have sessions for it where I try to see it. What he tried to do. But now I can't show it.
Yeah, I actually need to intervene here. Although I was really curious, I'm still curious, and I'm sure that we will see more of this in not so far future. Oh, by the way, I saw the link move to the other side, which is very cool. Is it still going? Oh, there are more stuff happening. Good. And I'm sure if you give it more time, a lot of things will happen, and hopefully we'll see the solar system. But I'd really like to keep this quote on site. Johannes said, he said, today's solar system is not working. So unfortunately, even if it starts working, it doesn't reach the length of our meetup. So I want to say thank you for all of you who presented today, and thank you so much for sharing your work. It is really inspiring, and it's really encouraging to I don't know, be in the meetup. And I don't know, like always after every meetup that I attend or I see, I want to immediately go back to my computer and start patching the stuff myself, because I like to move nodes around and do things. Therefore, I would like to maybe like having a wrap up. Randall, if you give me a hand here, maybe just doing a little wrap up what we have seen today, and sort of calling the meetup for today, because I'm sure these things, particularly what you are showing, Johannes, is going to be very, very soon part of everyday use cases, perhaps. It's just our meetup is not long enough for today. Randall, do you want to give sort of a recap from the first half of today, and then I do the second half?
Absolutely. So,
thank you so much.
What did we see today?
Oh, wait, sorry. Before that, we need to give a round of applause to Kopfaven for showing his. Yeah, I mean, the man doesn't need any explanation of his performance and his work. I mean, I think it is his contribution to V4 is like so long and is so much that I don't know if he can touch V4 without encountering his work. And thank you so much. This is really, really great work.
Absolutely. All right. So what did we get to see today? A lot of very interesting, very cool stuff. First of all, we have Rosi with her incredible particle Frankfurt system, the heat map, all sorts of government agencies involved. You can learn all about it in her beginner's course and upcoming intermediate course. Super cool data to see. There's not enough cool places in Frankfurt. That's what I've learned. Then we had Rafael all the way from Montreal with his incredible Minecraft multi-installation system in Buenos Aires, Argentina, showcasing every possible type of installation that you can possibly imagine. So very inspiring there. And then we had Alexandra with her incredible aesthetics, touching all things from high energy protons to quantum concepts and texture sound recording, which was insane. So yeah, I think the first half was quite packed and loaded, and I need to go and watch it again. And back to you.
Yeah, so after that, immediately we had Gabriela Gordillo, one of the famous figures of Node Institute teaching vvvv. She was showing the project, if I'm not mistaken, it was called Sonido Piedra. I hope I remember that correctly. It was a beautiful light installation exploring the notion of light and also like time and basically I don't know how we remember things. Like it's a metaphorical, artistic, philosophical work, which was really, really inspiring to see. After that, we had the man himself. We had Randall showing us this beautiful piece of polypoetry, as I guess they still call it polypoetry. I don't know. Showing this beautiful piece of polypoetry and a journey of morphing meaning and letter. So I think, yeah, he really earns the title of being a poet in visual language, IDE. And then after that, we had Johannes Kopfhaber. You still see him live and in action on screen, having his MCP, creating a solar system that every time I look at the screen, I see there are more developments on that. And I'm sure by the end of tonight, we will have a second solar system running on his computer, which is not the fastest computer, but it's doing at its full capacity. Thank you so much. Thank you, Node Institute. This is a sentence I stole from Randall. Thank you to Node Institute for lending us the infrastructure. And also Vienna is sitting there. I see that they had their pizza and then they are sitting there chit-chatting. I wave back at you and everybody else who was part of this. Alexandra, we hope to see you very soon in one of the links, one of the meetups. Rosi, thank you so much for showing your work. Raphael, looking forward to your amazing games and this interactive stuff. Hope that I will be around so I can experience it myself. Maxim, amazing job. Thank you. I know that we don't see you so much during the meetup, but you're doing a lot in the background. I really appreciate. And Randall, thank you so much. And I wish everybody a very good day, night, wherever you are. Have fun. Good patch. Okay, let's go patch. Let's go back to work.
Are we still live?
People don't want to leave.